After over 70 guests with the Instagram's undisputed live show, Live with Sandro, today we are turning a new page into Sincerely Sandro, bringing you letters of love, inspiration, and value with this new YouTube show, a new page powered by Confetti Events. This is Sincerely Sandro. I welcome all of you, and I have to tell about our events partner, Confetti Events, an amazing events partner who I've worked with as well. Great job, and I'm grateful to have them on board. Without further ado, let me introduce all of you to the two fun, jovial, and value-adding guests we have today. Certified transformative coach Fahad and news anchor, TV and events MC Sharon Mascarenhas. Hi, both of you.
What's up?
Can you talk now?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
What's happening? This is not my usual Friday night. When you said it's a launch, we expected like a virtual party, like a
curtain raising entertainment act.
This is the Sandro version of it.
And the previous two launches that Sharon and I were at, we had to hold hands like this and walk up and down at least 10 times before they got the right take.
Yeah. And Sharon was like continuously standing in the wrong place.
My God. Okay, this is different, guys. Okay, so I told both of you. Anyway, right? Sandro Sabjit, always something unique, something different. I know you all have seen this also. And both of you have anyway been on the previous shows, right? Live with Sandro. Both of you were big guests on the shows. So I'm really glad to have you all back. I think the difference is a bit, Atana Instagram, Atana YouTube. That's the only difference. But still, it's a year apart, guys. There's been, there's a lot of change that has happened. And I'm glad, honestly, to have the both of you here. So today, we are going to, today is all about your story. It's something that we did last year, but in a very different way to a very different audience. And we are going to start things off. I think, Sharon, Fahad, now everybody who's watching, right? Now these people will be, they want to see value. That's why people come to Sandro Satyajit, right? So I want to make sure that they get it. So what is your school life and your education? All of these, how did your past make Sharon Mascarenhas? Also, by the way, I'm proud to be able to be one of the very few to, say your full name properly, Sharon. So yeah. I nailed it, right? I'm doing it okay, yeah?
Very good.
There you go.
That's a very good question.
We should start with the Petrites.
Start with the?
We should start with the Petrites, I said.
Ladies first. Whoever wants to go first is okay.
Always ladies first. Come on, Sharon.
Yeah. Sharon will have to go first.
So, just a very quick, short summary, because I assume that we have so many other things to talk about. I was a very ambitious girl during school, very adventurous, very much involved in sports, was not involved in media at all. But I love my theater. I love being a part of competitions, but it was all so much related to sports. And then we had Children's Day. That was by Sri Lanka Rupawahini Corporation, where they sort of came to, they were looking for readers and presenters to join for Children's Day. And that's where a set of students who were part of the media unit kind of registered themselves. One of the girls got sick. Sharon goes into the principal's office to get a signature for an athletic meet. And the principal tells her, could you go on behalf of the student who is sick? I'm like, how can you say no to the principal? And Sharon goes for this little break, rehearsal, interview. And then from there, you get qualified, your voice is recognized, you're seen. And then I made it to the newsroom. Short story. Is that okay?
That was okay. That was good. Quite relatable to a lot of people who are starting off, like announcers in like going on to events, not more than events, the competitions, that's where things start for everyone. So, and also, why did you refer to yourself in third person? That was so weird.
Yeah. Maybe I just want to be different. Fahad, your turn.
Fahad, yeah, your turn, Fahad.
Sharon, that's a really cool story, actually, man. It's a really cool story. I like that story.
The fact that I in sports, and then now I don't.
Yeah, that's the part. Like, I can't imagine you being sporty at all. Like I can't imagine it.
I'm going to show you my coach, and you'll be like,
you look at it now.
Really?
What did you do? Like, was it like swimming?
Basketball, netball.
No, by saying
really?
I can tell that you didn't play it very well.
Slam dunk.
Oh my God.
Basketball team में
Fahad is your story.
Ne, come on, ne going hari bol gaya. What?
So anyway,
I will let that go.
I was the opposite of this person when I was in school. I was very quiet. I didn't have many friends. I was very silent. I was such an introvert. I still am in lots of ways, but there was no anticipation to announce, to speak, none of those things, right? But I really liked being able to talk, but I never had the opportunity. So one day I went to a radio station and I applied to be a radio presenter. And they said, we don't have any openings for radio presenters, but we do have ones for newsreaders. And I was like, okay, I'll take that. So I'll become a newsreader. Hopefully the path to being a presenter will open up. It never did. But through the whole news reading thing, there were people who were like, hey, do you want to do this kind of event thing? And I went, I did my first event. I was so nervous. I didn't know how to sort my transport out. It was like, I remember I introduced the president of the club that this event that I was hosting for as the president of Sri Lanka, right? Without liking by the president of Sri Lanka. And then everybody was like, yeah, he thinks he's the president of Sri Lanka. And I was like, shit, man. So from there, it just gradually grew and grew and grew. And then the events started to come, and then I joined this training company, and then more speaking things happen. So now my life revolves around talking shit in a good way, not in a bad way, in a good way. And but there was no principal story for me.
Wait, I'm surprised the two of you. Sharon, I'm surprised you did not know Fahad did news previously. I mean,
I didn't know that.
That was news to me recently.
Did you ever appear like reading news?
Only radio.
TV? Only radio. Okay. All right. Interesting.
So this is why I chose both of you. There's quite a lot of things, similarities people can learn from, huh?
No, but think about it, right? Sharon, every time you and I meet, we meet like maybe 30 minutes before, we go over the run through, we finish, and then we leave, right? Like there's no...
Yeah. I think it's also with the chemistry and the connection that you have. So it's easy and you sort of communicate in the same wavelength, and then it's easy for you to come or, deliver.
Honestly. But I'm more surprised by how Fahad was an introvert, because that's the same case with me, right? I was also an introvert, and then I went into this whole extroverted speaker thing. Like it's a few years ago. But compared to y'all, it's like a huge amount. I'm not putting you on like, that's not what I'm saying. But
a lot of guys are introverts, right?
I guess
a lot of guys are introverts. Yeah.
In a way. Weren't you an introvert, Sharon? School days?
No, never. No, I was always an extrovert, I think. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So you were an extrovert.
Sorry? Open personality.
Wow, super. So Fahad, do you consider yourself an unopen personality? Back then?
What does it even mean, Sandro? Like, what's it?
So that's the thing, Sharon. Just because you're introverted doesn't mean you're not open. It's just that you don't talk to people. I mean, in the past.
That, but still. I'd consider myself to be an ambivert, where if I'm not working, I'm pretty much, in my own zone and just minding my own business and not like in people's faces. But if I'm working, I'm the total opposite, right? Just full on, Ambanasiri in your face, too much energy, shut that guy up kind of thing. And in both zones, I'm happy because, lets me play different parts. So, yeah.
But Sandro, I think a lot of people have each and every way that they like to be in. So I agree with what Fahad said. There'll be a moment in your life like you want to be to yourself, you want to rethink your strategy, you want to rethink how you want to take a step back and communicate only with that people. But when it comes to your job, you will fulfill that because you're very passionate about it and you want to deliver it with that energy and that spark, and then you want to work with people. So I think it's based on every step that you take, and when you want to step aside and zip it, you will do it. When you want to chit chat, you open up.
That is so true, because see, from the both of you, what I see is that it doesn't matter if you're an extrovert or an introvert, you can always bring out the best in you as a speaker and a communicator, and whatever it is that you do, because it's people think that, okay, I have to be an extrovert to be a speaker, or I can't be an introvert. Like, all these stereotypes are broken when, you all actually told your story. That's a beautiful part of this, You don't really, people think that we are, most of us, whoever do speaking, presenting and all, that we are the butterfly, that is the end product. And they think they are the caterpillars. But what they don't realize is that the caterpillar becomes the butterfly later on with a lot of work and with a lot of process. And I think that's a beautiful...
Fahad is bringing science into this now. I'm very scared.
No, man, I was like...
It's not science, it's a metaphor. It's a nice metaphor. Oh my God.
Sharon, for a moment, I was like...
For a second, I was like, let me refresh this. Grades.
I am regretting putting both of you on one show now. I am
thinking, I was like, this is the problem with doing talk shows with people who just came out of school. They remember that shit. We can't remember it.
Oh my God, it's been years. It's been over 3 years that I was in school. My God. But anyway.
Yeah, and another 10 for me and Sharon. So.
Oh yeah, Hari. Yeah, that's okay. Age is just a number, guys. Age is just a number. No, but anyways, science gawa ganna make it, right? Listen, will you now? Both of you are communicators, right? Now, like Fahad said, Fahad did news, but why Fahad? Now, both of you. Question to the both of you, right? So Fahad went from news to coaching. You're more into coaching and presenting too, but mainly you love coaching, as I've spoken to you and I've seen you do. Sharon, you also were a speaker. You started as a speaker, right? But how did you go from this? I don't want to just be a speaker to news anchoring. Yes, it went with the path of life, but what made it so that you chose it? Like, for in a very short way, how did you know what was best for you, for the both of you?
In my case, Sandro, what happens is when you start reading the news, there are people that will come and tell you the way you're reading the news is good, the way you're reading the news is bad, your flow, your voice, your tone, the way you appear, the way you smile. For example, my mother says I have a duck's back smile when I give a very, there can be entertainment news, but I do this. And my mother keeps arguing with saying, stop doing that. And, so when people started giving you feedback, you realize the amount of people who are watching you. So you got to get your contents into your head, try to understand what you're trying to say. You need to be updated with what you are doing. And if you are a news reader, you are responsible to a certain amount of content that you're reading. It's on ethics, it's on professionalism, and a lot of people look up to you. So you can't be just reading like a parrot. So it's that passion that grows within you. And if you go through some of my old news clips, I'm rather embarrassed with the way I dressed, number one, because there was no uniformity back then. And I started being extremely fat. So then you get conscious. You want to look good on TV. You want to look your best. Then you improve on your vocals. When I left school, it's a bit preachy and, loud, and you pretend with your fake accent and all of that. And now it's more moist, clear, clarity, because you work on so many things. So it's a case of every individual on what they want to do, and there's nothing that you can't do. It's a matter of just choosing what you want to do and work on it, or join a transformation coach who will do the honors of changing your life. Isn't it right, Fahad?
What a pass, and that's right, ladies and gentlemen. On that note, if you want to get coached as a newsreader, I can only recommend one person, Sharon. Nobody else. No, this is our option.
Advertisement වලට දුන්නේ යා. How is this happening?
මෙහෙමයි ඉතින් ඔය YouTube එක මොනිටයිස් වෙච්ච දවසක අපි එකකින් පොඩි රෙවෙනියු කෑල්ලක් වාගෙන අපි පොඩි ඇඩ් එකක් දැම්මා.
පොඩි කෑල්ලක් දෙන්න අපිට හරිද?
චුටි කෑල්ල.
අඩුගානේ කේක් එකක්වත් යවන ලොකු දෙයක් Sandro.
Okay, we were supposed to do this physically. Did you all know that? This show was supposed to take off physically. ඒ වුණොත් කේක්
Oh,
නෙමෙයි
really?
දවල්ටත් කෑම අරන් දීලා තමයි කරන්න කිව්වේ.
නෑ දැන් පුළුවන් මේ තියෙනවා food delivery service තියෙනවා.
Oh, delivery. Exactly.
Okay. Now this
And no, I
conversation is going
because
මේක
it's
මේ
Friday.
මගෙන් පීට් එකක් කතා ගන්න යන්නේ දැන්. මේක ඒ පැත්තට නෙමෙයි දැන් පහත් tell us your story please.
Has anyone dropped in any comments saying, please speak valuable substance without playing the fool? Did anybody drop any comments like that so far?
I don't think so.
No, but I just checked
If so,
out
my
the-
team will tell me. Oh no.
I checked out the description of Sandro's YouTube. It says less gossip, more substance, and I was like, yeah.
Okay.
This is fun and substance. Come on. You have to admit it.
Not the kind of substance
But
you
yeah,
want.
anyways.
Yeah. Fahad, over to
Mm-hmm. What was the
your
question?
turn. Yeah, I actually forgot about it.
Oh.
No, as a communicator, right? How did you choose, that I want
Your
to
path.
go into coaching and not news? How did you know what was best for you?
Dude, I think that it was very organic for me at least, right? So I got into when I was working the radio station. Actually, I got suspended from there. I got fired because I took a news story and they were like, "Oh my god, you can't do this." So like when I did know and like suspended, stroke fired. Then I worked at a publications part of an advertising agency for a year. I was really bad at that job. And I was looking for something, right? And then I got into this training company. They were doing this team building training, soft skills training and stuff like that. So I worked there for 10 years. And then after I left there, I started doing my own training and I wanted to make more personal impact. So then I got into the whole coaching space, right? So coaching, training, comparing, those are the kind of spaces that I'm into. And everything happened organically. So I just see what's the next area I'm kind of interested in. So in the meantime, other opportunities come and then I ask the question, do I want to go there? Like before I got into this track, I experimented so much, man. I used to be in a band. I used to be a wedding photographer. I used to take portrait photography. I used to do graphic design. I designed logos. I once...
God, I didn't know any of these. I could have sent you half of my content.
I once financed an entire trip to Japan
Yeah.
based on doing artwork, man. It was very lucrative. But the passion isn't there. So organically it goes into this whole speaking, etc. spaces. Kind of thing, yeah.
Wow.
It's surprising how much we don't know.
That's
I know.
That's what. It's amazing how much anyone doesn't know about anyone, really. That's the whole point. No. See, Fahad, I want to touch on that point if you're okay, a little bit more, because so many people are afraid to try different things. They're like, no, brother, I've heard of this a lot of times. Because my ambition was to be it still is in a way to be a diplomat in the coming years. Then may very way from both of you. But anyways, no, see, that's later in future, right? But still, people told me that, Sandro, if you start comparing, that you are going to be known for comparing, right? You are not going to be known as the later product you are. But as opposed to that, we can always try different things, right? We can try, like you said, Fahad, we can always try multiple sorts of different things, see if it is up. Because something I always say is, how do you know avocado is your favorite drink if you don't drink it, right? And something that is applicable to anyone watching, honestly.
Sorry.
Oh my God, that's my favorite. You did not just say that. No, but honestly, Sharon, what do you think about this practice of trying different things and ultimately knowing what is best for you after trying these things? What do you think about that?
So let's take education, because a lot of people, I don't think they know about this. I work full time as a marketing manager as well. But before I joined the field of marketing, I tried HR, I tried international relations, and then I also tried one more thing. Okay, marketing, that was it. Because I was very passionate about, becoming like an ambassador or a delegate. But lawyer, that's what it is. So if based on those fields, once you start working in every area, you realize what you really like and what you really want. And in my case, I started following CIM education. That supported me in my marketing and then kind of helped. And then I continued my passion. So it's always best. Like Fahad has tried out so many things. It's good to try out things, but don't try to embrace it all together at one go, because then you get stuck. And it doesn't mean that you try one thing and you wait for an answer for that itself. Say for a job, a lot of them just they send CVs just to 100 places and they expect a reply, but that doesn't work. If you see a demand in the industry with about 500 people trying to apply for that job, you have to work your heart out in your CV and plus apply for 100 other places. So it's something like being the best and also standing out there and being different, I suppose. I think I'm talking too much. I'll shut up.
No. That's a beautiful answer. Fahad, add on with you. What do you think about that?
I agree with what Sharon says, because from small days we are fed into the system, figure out what you want, and then try to grow into that. But I think there's another side to it, that I think some of us are very privileged that we have the space to try and experiment. But there are some others who don't have that space or that privilege because they get stuck. Like, I was super privileged. Like, I know that even if I didn't find some work, my parents would give me to eat. I knew that. But there are some people out there who have to start providing for themselves and their families, so that they need to get into it quickly. So it's like a balance, right? So sometimes you want to, but you can't. And sometimes you can, but your brain doesn't sink in the level of getting it done. And there are some people who can't, but somehow manage to do it. Now, nobody is wrong. And I think that everybody should figure out their own pace. But if you can, experiment as much as possible and don't stick with this, this is my profession and this is what it's going to be for the rest of my life. Like, the people who are surviving now amidst this whole pandemic are the people who diversified, man. People who had those single sources of income from one boss, they're like, what are they going to do? But the people who diversified, something is happening, right? So that's the important part.
That is honestly true, brother. I totally agree with that. Because with personal experience too, I'm sure a lot of people can relate. So honestly, that's a very important thing. Young people don't understand that you need to try different things and it's okay. Yes, sometimes, like you said, jack of all trades is the king of none. It never works. But you learn. It's what you learn from all those different things you do. And honestly, it's such a great lesson to everyone watching, because it's something you can always learn from. But see, another thing that I want to touch on is that now, despite all of these things, right, whether you always try to go try different things, right, you will always have challenges in any of those, right? So if you're now, for example, say, if you're a man, you have lots of challenges. Now, let's take the media industry, since both of you are there, right? So what are the challenges, Fahad, you think there are to? This is a very controversial question, because not a lot of people talk about this. Challenges that a man faces in the media industry, as opposed to also, Sharon, if you can tell us, the challenges that a woman goes through in the media industry. What do you all think of that? Because I'm sure there's a lot from both ends. Sharon, do you want to lead us?
I was hoping Fahad will start with the whole man thing, because I haven't heard much from the guys. Fahad?
I'll let Sharon go first.
Fahad, go ahead.
Passing the ball.
What is this passing the ball? My God.
I know.
Basketball.
Very good. Sandro, it's not an easy ride. I'm sure everyone has had their obstacles. But I must add this point to what we were discussing before. The youth today have figured it out. They are more, in our case, I think we got a bit stuck in kind of choosing what we want to do and all. But generation today have sort of figured it out. So they just want to do things in their own way, the way they want, how comfortable they are. So given that circumstance, if some challenge is posed against them, it breaks them down. Depression, sensitivity, I can't do this, I'm getting off Instagram. I know we all go through different phases in life, but we have been sidelined. We have been, ignored, battered, bruised, you name it. If you don't go through that also, I assume you won't sort of push yourself to the next limit. Of course, you need people that supports you also with your journey, but without those challenges that comes along your way, you can't kind of grow. It doesn't work. So you can't expect like a smooth ride. It's always good to have bumps and ups and downs, places where they'll never pay you, places where they'll kick you out and say you're fired. That really helps you and energizes you and gives you this moral asset. Oh, I want to do it. I want to make it happen. But then you can't just keep saying that or depend on someone to make that happen. You got to do it.
Wow, honestly, well said, Sharon. I could not agree with that more. Fahad, what about the men's take on the media industry's challenges? What do you think?
So not just men and women, but either gender. There are some things, right? So say you do an event and you do a really good job, right? And then you expect them to call you back next year, and they call you to say, we were really happy, everything was great, but this year we want a female face, right? And that's normal, right? Because they alternate hosts, they alternate genders, and that's normal thing, right? So you do that story about do your best and that should be enough. That is not true, because what you're doing, there are other people bring different flavors. Sometimes they want someone who speaks more, with less, with more formality, and you're too animated. Sometimes it's the fact that, we need someone who's going to be able to speak all three languages, and you can. So there are all these variables. So not just with the gender thing, but there is the gender aspect, there is the, your style aspect, there are all of these aspects that are going to influence who they pick for what type of scenario. So I'm not going to specifically say there are things that from a man's perspective, I can't speak from a woman's perspective. I'm not going to specifically say there are things like that, I'm sure there are. But I always try to look at it as, did you do the maximum? Are the other factors out of your control? Then, tough shit, dude. I mean, you can't. Just go on to the next one, do your best, and if everything aligns, then the best you can do is when all the criteria. So we want this gender, okay, I can do that. We want this energy, okay, I can do that. So if you can be the best in all the criteria that's applicable to you, then I think you're on top of your game. But like if they are looking for an male energetic compare, they're looking somewhere else and they're not considering me, then I've failed, right? So that's how I look at it. If they're looking for a female energetic compare, I lost out. It doesn't matter because I don't fulfill one of those criteria. And
also, Fahad, I think it also depends on the audience, right? The change of bosses, the type of event. I mean, it's not that you can't hold on to that seat every day. There is a day that you have to let go. There is a day that you'll embrace it, you'll enjoy it, you'll love it. Just have fun with whatever it comes along and be gifted and grateful and thankful for it.
There have been some events that Sharon and I have hosted continuously for about 4 years now that was only broken because of COVID last year. And there were some, like she and I did 2, then it breaks and then we come back again. So it just keeps rolling. You just go with it. It's just fine.
The only thing that doesn't change is change, right? That's what they say. Philosophical value. No, but honestly, it's really... Huh?
Vidya, you made it?
No more science. No more science for you, Fahad. No. No, honestly, it's really beautiful how you all put it out there, because if these challenges, like Sharon said, if these challenges are not there, we will not be who we are today. And at the same time, we are unique, but in that uniqueness, are we doing our best is what Fahad told us. And I think that makes a lot of sense to everybody in any field, not just in media, I believe. When you are talented in one thing, are you really sure you're doing the best in this? How can you make sure you are the best and keep going forward? And as you go forward, you find these challenges. And that's the most beautiful part of the journey, I'd say. Something that myself and everybody has gone through and will always go through. So that's honestly something really nice. So coming to something very interesting, I want to ask you all a very embarrassing question. Right, but also laugh it all out because I think y'all have told me this. Okay, I think Sharon has told me one of her story in the live, in live with Sandro. What are your most embarrassing moments on stage? Share a few, will you? Ones that y'all actually learned from. Sharon, you cannot tell the.
I need some time to reflect. Everybody knows it, no?
That's what. Everybody knows it. Something else this time. So
yeah, so Fahad, go ahead. I'm just thinking about my one. Let me think of something new. Because every time there's a commercial break.
Fahad, no commercial breaks. What? I want to comment Fahad's background, by the way, like classic. All those are classics, honestly. Beautiful. Yeah, but where is your Iron Man, right? No, who's the figure that you have? He's in the corner, right? Iron Man, Batman, right? Oh, okay.
There we are.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool, honestly. You rarely find people taking on the legacy of, Marvel, DC, and all that forward. Proud.
Because I can't remember my ones. I should have written it down.
I'm just trying to think about embarrassing moments.
Yeah.
On TV, on stage, anywhere. Something that you honestly learned a lot from.
Plenty of instances. Let's say you're given a oil lamp list and they come and add different people's names. And you hear runs it and they tell you that it's something else. And then you read out something else. And then the person who actually has to come and light is not the person who lights. And then that person rolls his eyes on you and you roll back at the organizer saying, what the? So something like, once upon a time, there was an event where myself and my co-host got information that that particular president was about to address. So the PMD came and told us that, put him up soon because he has to go. And we announced and we said, Your Excellency, blah, 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 Mal Pohora, all of that. And we invited him to the stage. He signed from wherever he was and he said, no, I'm not coming. And then the both of us looked like duds. And we were like, did we hear it wrong or did we see that signal wrong or what on earth? And you're dumbstruck for a second like a statue thinking, this is the president. What do we do? And then we just laughed it off by saying, the president's address will come up shortly, but we're going for an entertainment break. But I was seriously calling. When we went backstage, the media guy was like, why didn't you call him? And we were like, we did. He didn't come. So what? Oh, wait, let me go and check.
That's always
which president this is.
Yeah, that's why I don't think. Do you want us to guess? No, right? I don't want to guess.
No, I don't think you guess.
You don't have to say which president. Just tell us the year it happened.
No, I can't tell you that.
Yeah, that's what.
But I still read news on the national television, so I'm responsible.
Okay.
Boring. Let's go into your story, Fahad. Yeah, no, Fahad.
So this embarrassing thing happened at a training program. So my Sinhala, when I started about 10 years ago, my conversational Sinhala, Sinhala was fine, but the proper Sinhala wasn't great, right? And I had gone to this team building program that I was carrying out for a company, and we were in Belihulloya, we had done this full day trek and everything, and in the evening we were sitting down to discuss what had happened. And the team had done a really shit job and they had done a really bad job, and I was like, and this one person said, right? Now I had never heard this before, right? And I was like, what is this? And then I said, all my trainer conference, hurry. And people were like, what are you saying, dude? And I was like, what are you saying, dude? And then everybody's looking at me like, are you okay? What? Like nobody's understanding any of the words that are going on. And in the back of the room, the person who was training me to be a trainer, he's like laughing his ass off, and then later he tells me, he explains what Andi Habdinagi Kandahaliya is. And then he explains how when I said that, it didn't match at all. And for the rest of and he recorded it. He had it recorded, and for a long time, he kept playing it at our gatherings and stuff like that. It was quite embarrassing because in front of about 40 people, I said something wrong and I couldn't get it. And, it was, and that was the day I decided, dude, I'm going to get my Sinhala on track. I'm going to focus, I'm going to speak point Sinhala. I'm going to be like, that was the day I decided. It was embarrassing.
Wow. But still, see, that's the beauty of both these stories, right? I mean, that's what I wanted to show the audience with this. It doesn't see all these moments before they become an embarrassing, fun memory. It's one of your biggest, for myself even, one of my biggest your mess ups, and that becomes one of your biggest strengths later, because if you learn from it, right, for the right person. And I think both of you did, from all these. And a lot of other people do. So I think that's what people need to understand, young people. It's okay to get things wrong always because you learn from those mistakes. And honestly, I mean, myself, I remember I'll also share, I think, the 2017 or 18, I remember I was supposed to do an event. I was doing an event in English. And all of a sudden, I'm not going to say where, I don't want to. So these people come and tell me...
Are you still reading news on national television?
No. I'm not. I'm a small town boy. Wait.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you don't want. That's why Sharon didn't want to mention it because she's reading news. I'm like, why don't you want to mention it? I was reading news.
Oh, consent. My consent is no.
Okay.
It's a different world we live in, Honestly, no. Anyway, it was a school event. Okay, there you go. So back in school, right? So there was this event, and I was announcing in English. And normally, when I announce in English, they don't want me. I don't normally announce in Sinhala at all. If you want Sinhala, you call that person, whoever, that was me. So back then. And then what happened was they were like, tell this. And words weren't written down, nothing. And I said it. And everybody started laughing. I don't even remember what it was. Because it was an announcement to the parents. Everybody started laughing. And what I learned from there was my Sinhala wasn't good. Because anyway, I was from the British school in Colombo at first. And after that, my Sinhala was something that was very weak for me because I didn't know how to talk. I didn't know how to write. When I was coming to my new school, that was later on my school, that is Asian Grammar School. But there I learned both languages, not only all three languages in a very nice way, diverse way, which, on and on led me to become strong in it. I can talk fluently, but announcing was a challenge. So as the days passed, 2017 to now I do Sinhala events and Sinhala announcing to some brands too, quite some known brands, which I'm proud of, honestly, because I messed up many years ago and I learned from it. And I'm proud of myself for that. So I think that's honestly, it's where we all relate. Our embarrassing moments are rock bottoms where we learn from. And honestly, it's like the best feeling when you look back onto it. So honestly, that's just a little tidbit story about me. So anyways, now I want to ask the both of you right now. We are all literally inside the spotlight, right? We are on YouTube Live. Anyone in the world can watch us right now. And so even when you're on the stage, you're on spotlight. I mean, you all know BMICH, when the spotlight shines, you can't see anything at all. You have to look up for the audience and, it's like, you all know this more than anyone. So that's figuratively, right? Being in the spotlight, how important is it to maintain your privacy and how challenging is it? What are your personal stories? Because so many people want to know about who you are, what do you do, your personal life, all of that. How do you manage your privacy with the spotlight that you are in for the both of you? How has it been?
I think it's basically based on the person or individual's interest. If you want to open out and if you want to share to the world, whatever you want to do, because that makes you happy, right? It makes you comfortable. It makes your day brighter when there are people supporting you, supporting your growth, etc. Also, there are people who don't want to share anything, very reserved, only like. I'm just talking about social media on a current context. So I think it's a choice. And personally, for me, I think the more open you are, it's nicer. But you don't have to basically sort of put out everything that you're doing in your personal life. But there has to be engagement, interaction with the kind of work that you do. And it's good to have a good network connected with good people. But there can be people who can abuse you in the wrong way. And you have to be smart to know where to draw the line. Did I sound like a grandmother?
Little bit.
Okay, sorry.
No, I'm kidding. Fahad, what do you think?
I think that there are some people who it's really hard. Like if you're like a massive, triple A grade celebrity who can't even go out anywhere, then, those people are like a different scale of privacy. But for people like, like me or us, I don't think there are people who are like, we're not at that level. So it's not such a big issue, I think. But that being said, there are parts of my personality I like being kept. Like, for example, on my socials, I don't share a lot of my personal life because it's personal life, right? But there are parts of my professional life that I put out. There are certain parts of my personal life I put out. So it's very calculated in the sense of, it's not that I'm hiding stuff, but it's what I'm comfortable sharing. But if someone asks, I have no issue. Like, so for example, these things that I shared today, I used to work in news, all of these things I did. I'm not hiding it, but I'm not just promoting it either. If somebody asks me, I'll tell them. So for me, it's not about, oh my God, I'm in spotlight, can I do this, etc., etc. But it's more about, am I okay sharing? But there are some things that are like if I'm going out somewhere, I'll always make sure that I'm wearing, my happy socks and I'm wearing like a cool pair of shoes. Because I like if I meet somebody, I like hey, I have cool shoes. So those are like little weird quirks. But other than that, I think where we're at right now, it's not like a major problem. I'm speaking for myself, sorry. Shapes in the game.
No, I get it. That's very humble of you, brother, honestly. But along with that, now I want to remind actually the audience as well that you can send your questions to Fahad and Sharon and they will answer them for you. I definitely know they will, because anything you want to ask about, literally anything about advice, or it can be anything related to the field of announcing or media, anything you want to know, because they are here to help all of you today with lots of value. So actually, to touch on that privacy thing, okay, then I know it's not a lot. It might be, it depends on the person, right? The amount of fame, it depends on the person, right? So now when you are in the spotlight, how do you manage with the part Fahad actually stopped us with, where people engage with you when you go out in public and people start talking to you, and there's about 10 people who want to talk to you and you can't talk to any of them. Like, do you regret it? Like, okay, oh my God, I couldn't talk to this person, they want to speak to me. Because this actually happened to me once. I was at BMI stage doing an event just recently, and somebody came up, hey, you're Sandro from Instagram, right? And I was like, yeah, how are you? And then I had to run because there was the event was going on, and I couldn't find the person. And I was like, oh wow, shoot, I don't know what this guy thought of me. So moments like that, how do you deal with the audience, basically, once you come into the spotlight? A little different shade of the same question. What do you all think?
We're not that famous, right?
That's not the point. Oh my God.
No, but we're really not that famous.
We're just, very normal people. Yeah, but I must admit, yeah, but okay, just a different point. I get really annoyed if there are a lot of unknown people who calls me baby on Instagram as a message. And when you wake up in the morning, if you see about 10 babies, hey baby, how are you? You keep thinking, do you really want to be called baby by this unknown person, or, Yeah, so that's a different viewpoint on the whole spotlight things. So things like that, I kind of want to run away from. And, you just you prefer your little privacy. But let's say there is this launch and you want to be there and you want to support your friend or something, and then somebody introduces you as so-and-so is so-and-so, and then, you can play your part and also introduce about your friend with you, saying, I'm also very honored to be with your friend. So you're supporting and you're mingling and you're that part. It's not about you being famous. It's about encouragement, and you push that other person also to be on par with you.
I know what message to send Sharon tomorrow morning to irritate her.
Don't do that.
Oh my God. I was actually thinking along the same lines. No, but anyways, she calls me.
So you used to get the babies,
I forgot.
You used to get a lot of babies, is it? Hey, baby.
Fahad?
No, you.
Me? No. This is a single Pringle working his way up towards life. I'm a very decent person. What in there? What
do you think? Who am I? Single Pringle? Decent life?
No, but see it's a problem.
But
Honestly,
I think a hey baby message. Don't do that.
So I'm looking for that thing that Sandro called, that you called Sandro.
No.
I'm looking for that.
No phones on the show. No phones on the show. Oh my God. No phones on the show. No, this is not happening. Honestly.
Okay, found it.
We have no, Fahad, no. How do we mute Fahad? You are not. See, Sharon, this is you did this. You called me that.
Royal subject. You call you.
What's that?
You need
Royal
royal
subject. Yes,
Voice
my royal
message.
subject.
How come it's a voice message?
Because I sent him a voice message saying, "Hey, how
Yeah,
come
but he
you're
picked
calling?"
up on it.
Puny royal subject. Puny royal subject. That was the one.
Hiyo.
Yeah, but see, there's nothing wrong with that. So
Are you puny?
I don't know why you find it funny, Fahad. I don't know.
Puny?
Okay, Hari,
Fahad-
let's not extract.
Fahad watches How I Met Your Mother, not Friends. So you can assume the rest of it.
Honestly, I was thinking there's a big difference between How I Met Your Mother fans and Friends fans. That kind of
But that's good.
yeah,
But we watch all.
yeah. Honestly, yeah. I love all of it. I love impractical jokers, man. But anyways,
Okay, puny.
Okay, there is a question. Can I take it? This is to Fahad. Can I know who Fahad's favorite Avatar character from The Last Airbender and why?
Oh my God! Who's asking
Okay,
this
that's
question?
a
I love
good
it. Where's this
A
question?
guy called Misak. I hope I pronounced it right.
Meshach, that's Meshach.
Where is this?
Yeah.
Like, where are you seeing it?
Sorry for pronouncing
okay.
your name wrong.
Okay,
Fahad, why don't you answer that for us?
Avatar and who else? Because like he's like the character that holds that entire verse together. It's where it started, the boy in the iceberg, and I enjoy taking these which bender are you quizzes online. I will search and I will do all the quizzes, and I will answer in such a way that I get the answer that I'm the Avatar. But yeah, it's Aang. Aang is my favorite character. No question.
My God.
Thanks for that question.
Sharon, did you see the change in his body language when he started talking about Avatar compared to everything he was talking about all this time?
I think I want to meet Fahad with his girlfriend now to see the real Fahad.
This is where these questions are.
No, see, Avatar.
I just found she's very tolerant of my Avatar and all my other these things. So this is where you saw the question. I was wondering where you saw the question.
See, I'm advanced.
Yeah, guys, honestly. So if you have any other questions, guys, those who are watching, please shoot Avatar questions, any question that you want. Always shoot.
Yeah, questions like that.
Fahad and Sharon are going to answer.
That I don't normally get to talk about, but I love talking.
Okay. All right. Okay, then honestly, so there's actually something we can learn from Avatar. Have you not watched, Sharon? Have you seriously not watched?
I have.
You have? Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. So, see, Avatar
What?
teaches us a lot of things.
Who doesn't watch movies?
No. Him and me. Not like that.
Okay.
When you watch the Last Airbender movie, that is not even, we don't even speak about the Last Airbender movie because it.
No.
Did he mention movie?
You don't talk about
Yeah,
it.
maybe. Yeah. From
Oh
the
my
last
God.
Airbender.
I'm really glad you said that, Fahad, because that's only a man of class who knows Avatar says that. We don't watch we don't talk about the movie.
10 minutes on the show.
Yes, definitely. But we are closing into the end, honestly.
It's like Sharon is
So,
like, okay, enough talk about this geeky stuff. Can we get back to this, please? Thanks.
No.
yeah,
I'm just giving Sandro a reminder because all this will be dragging.
I know how much time we have.
Everyone will be like, these guys are gossiping about content.
Sharon
Sorry.
is going into moderator mode.
Can I do that? Can I take away
I
your
know.
show?
Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm kidding. This is your show.
I'm kidding. No, honestly, see, see, even something like Avatar, these are things people don't, small things, right? People think a lot of these famous or presenters or whoever, like, that they are over there because of the things that they don't talk about this, right? I mean, you see a lot of celebrities, they don't always talk about things that they love. Small things like this. But it's these things that they watch. For me, it's Naruto quite a lot. And, Marvel and Avatar. It's a mix of things.
Nobody asked me what I like.
Okay, what do you like? Then tell that also.
No, it's okay. I'll take the question. Fahad, I think Ravi has replied you. Sacrilege. The last Airbender movie is sacrilege. Okay.
M. Night Shyamalan doesn't deserve a lot of things, and getting to direct, write, and ruin that movie is one of those things he doesn't deserve. But please don't get me started. Also, I'm really upset that the original showrunners left the Netflix series that they're remaking. I'm really upset about that. I'm sorry, everybody else, if we're going on this tangent for Avatar. But yeah, it's really saddening and stuff. But let's get back to the point. Sharon, what do you like?
You're watching Sincerely with Sandro, and here's a movie critic Fahad Farooq on the air right now, going on giving his reviews about.
You have to add on to Sharon.
What do I talk
about? Your favorite? What is your favorite?
What movie, song? What are we talking
show,
about?
Anything. Movie, TV show, anything.
Anything comical, because that really relieves my stress after a long day of work. So I watch a lot of 2.5 Men, to Friends, to you name it. All the, like, Comedy Central is the station. Sometimes my mother scolds me saying, you're not talking to me, and you're like zoned out into the TV, just, watching that. But that kind of relieves you. It just, takes you to a different level of, okay, let's talk. Yeah.
Honestly, that's beautiful. See, a lot of people don't understand that these things, small things that we watch every day, these are the things that make us feel good and be who we are, And as much as we don't accept it, we are a part of everything we watch, everything we read. And these small things, make us who we are. Maybe it's because Sharon is a Friends fan, that she's very jovial and energetic, Maybe it's because Fahad watches Avatar, that he's very, focused and very wisdom and discipline minded, There's there's always that impact of everything we watch,
Why look focused to you?
Honestly. Yes, very much.
Okay.
So, no, seriously. So people don't talk about these little things that they love. Even if they do, they don't. The audience needs to understand that it's because of it's these little things that make us who we are, and it's the same for you too. Sitting behind the screen at home, it's that's what makes you who you are. The small things you love. It might be a cartoon. It might be your favorite glass or whatever. It's not a glass. It's a cup. But you get the point. So we have a quick question that we'll answer, and we'll get into the final question of the show. So Meshak is asking a real question. Every day you guys are going on to do presentation, confronting thousands of people. Does it actually scare that you might mess up? Despite your experience, are you afraid that it may ruin the image that you have molded over time? So do you think you'll mess up when you're put on the spot? And do you think if you mess up, it'll ruin the image that you already have in events in general? A quick answer would do.
I think if you're a public speaker, the word fear should be omitted. The word fear should be for something that you're absolutely scared about, because you can't have fear in you. You got to have a real pumped up energy that you bring in, that confidence to make it happen. Anything, forget comparing. It's in anything. You have to carry that confidence right throughout. So yeah, that's how simple it is. Don't carry fear. Fear is, if you do have the fear, work on overcoming it. That's it.
In terms of messing up, I think that anybody can mess up anywhere. But it's about having the confidence to know that even if you mess up, that you are able to save it, right? Because we don't know what will happen. Something might go wrong, but you can save it. You have the confidence to say, I can bring this back to the point, or I can salvage it, or whatever. So you can't go into it expecting, nothing's going to go wrong. Things will go wrong, but it's about how quickly can you re-steer it back to the track, kind of thing. And that's the confidence you have in yourself, I guess.
And Fahad, I don't think, I think we shouldn't show that fear through our eyes or our facial expression. You must quickly know how to bounce back, putting a smile on your face and like nothing really happens, because a lot of people won't know.
Yeah. And when you're doing live events, everybody knows there's like a whole bunch of stuff that happens. But as the host, you're the face, and you've got to him maneuver it, and it's how it is. Like, it's not a big deal. It's just how it is.
Honestly, beautifully said by the both of you. Because even if we are on live right now, we're live, but I love the both of you, as I've told, to be who you are, free. You need to be the Fahad when you're comparing, or Sharon when you're comparing. That's the thing with the Sincerely Sandro show and Live with Sandro previously, that I always try to continue. You be you, and let the audience see everyone who comes on the show for who they are. Because there's a lot to learn from people who are genuinely who they are in the spotlight. So I think that's the whole concept of the letters of love and inspiration and value on this show. So honestly, guys, so we are closing into the last few moments. I want to thank the both of you. At the same time, shoot my last question before we end up with a small comment also about the show. What is your advice to the young people watching, to the announcers, to the little Sharons, to the little Fahads who are still making it out there? Might include me also. But everybody who wants to become, my God, Fahad's face when I said that. Everybody who wants to become people, announcers and coaches and all. What is your advice to them? Don't pick on that word, Fahad. No.
I'll let the transformation coach speak here. I think he'll be a better advisor.
I think it's about being authentic. It's not like about trying to be like somebody. That'll never happen. And in the beginning, you can look at someone and say, okay, I would like to do what this person is doing, but never try to speak like, sound like, act like, look like, because there's no point really, because you have to find your authentic self. I mean, honestly, man, when I started out, I saw all these, industry legends, and I was like, I got to be like that. It was very artificial. It was very hard for me. But then when I discovered this was my style, it was easier. So it's okay to have people that you look up to, in the sense of that's an aspirational place I want to be in. But it shouldn't be like, okay, I want to do exactly what that person is doing, or I want to beat that person. I don't think it's because, everybody can win. Everybody can have a slice of the cake. Everybody can, whatever. So find your authenticity and only compete with yourself. I think that's the thing that I would say.
I think just to add to what Fahad said as well, be authentic and be different without looking up to hundreds of people. It's good to have idols. Inspire yourself. Get encouraged. Grow yourself. Look at people, what they do. But stand out in a different way by identifying what you want to do. Follow what makes you happy. Do what you love. And follow on that. That's it. And also don't make money or A-listing. Passion first. Finance will come slowly. But that doesn't mean you have to work for someone without a job, okay?
There's a nice duality to that, honestly, Sharon. Thank you for mentioning that. I mean, it's iconic, Sharon Mascarenhas, for saying passion first. I've heard it so many times that it's like registered in my head now. But honestly, thank you so much. You guys added so much value. That was good advice to all the young people watching. Hope you all really learned something, because that is what this show is all about. Learning and having fun while you're at it too. Speaking of fun, now, finally, I want to ask both of you, what do you think about Sincerely Sandro? And you all have been on Live with Sandro as well. A little bit of your thoughts without roasting me. Little star mark there. Tell me what you all think about the show. How do you all feel? Huh? My God. I did not tell. Oh my God. No, I did not. Disclaimer.
Yep, the one he sent us a WhatsApp message.
Yeah. But again, I'll read out what you told us. One second.
I did.
Sandro
Okay,
is amazing.
fine. Okay.
He has done a good job. He's a great host. I'm so lucky. Yeah.
You're
P.S.
lucky.
I wish that Sandro will have lots more episodes in the future.
And also he says, subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and also follow me every day. And also I will thank you guys.
I
that
did not
correct?
say anything, guys. These two are lying to all of you.
Fahad, I can't act. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Because you don't have
That
to.
kind of Fahad card could do.
This is the truth.
Monkey, what the message?
My God. You cannot do this, man, honestly. It's not even Sharon. Sharon is adding more to Fahad's flame. Mein mao roast karne ke.
This is why it's called chemistry in presenting.
Hello.
Okay, on a serious note, tell me. What do you think about the show? I mean, you all are having too much fun, is what I think.
I think for a guy of your age, Sandro, it's really nice that you are kicking off a YouTube show. So thank you for making us a part of Sincerely with Sandro. I hope you continue and not give up. You'll have a lot of followers, and same time you'll have a lot of critics along the way. Be positive. Change the vibe when you know the season is time to change. Don't hold on to a lot of things. And I certainly hope to all the viewers that you have a great time enjoying watching Sincerely with Sandro. Also, please stay at home. That's the message I can give you, because I think the lockdown is going to get extended and it's going to be a bit exhausting staying at home.
Wow. Thank you, Sharon. Fahad?
I really appreciate the fact that you are constantly trying to make an impact. And it's a good thing, because a lot of people seek the glory rather than the impact, and they want the impact to happen later. But I think with you, it's about, spreading a good message, trying to, create that impact, etc. And I think that's a great thing. I think that what Sharon said is really important, in the sense that, evolving, changing, refreshing. I think that's going to be a big part of how you go ahead. I mean, when I was your age, dude, I didn't know jack shit about what I want with my life. Like, you're eons.
That's when Facebook started, Fahad.
Yeah. Like, this you Sandro, are eons ahead compared to wherever you were responsible. So I think that, you're on a good path. And I wish you all the bloody best, buddy.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Fahad. Means a lot. I mean, I personally can imagine how hard it was for you to be that kind to me, but still. I'm kidding.
This was the second message you sent. I was reading it off the screen. I did it well.
Oh my God, no. You are not doing this. Oh my God, honestly. You two, I think I made the right decision by putting you, both of you, on the same show. I really wanted you to be the first two guests, because you are presenters, because you are anchors, and because I'm in a way close to the both of you compared to most of the other people that I do know. And I'm grateful for the both of you for coming as the two honorary guests who had a lot of fun roasting me, on a side note, with the first episode, the premiere episode of Sincerely Sandro. So thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you so much, Fahad. And to everybody watching at home, thank you for all the beautiful comments on YouTube. And we really loved it, Sharon, Fahad and I, all of us. Sincerely Sandro, this is only the start of it. This is the first episode of many more episodes to come. And I have to shoot out a reminder to Confetti Events as well, an amazing events management company who not only focuses on one aspect, but all the aspects of an event when they do. I personally seen this and I absolutely love their work. So thank you to Confetti Events as well. Grateful to have them on board. Along with that, thank you to our guests once again for being here, for making this more colorful than it was supposed to be, and adding more value to Sincerely Sandro. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good night. Take care and see you soon.